Okay, I'm going to talk about streamlining your studio. There is a chance that if you have a lot of gear, you're going through some of the same kind of challenges that I'm going through, which is trying to retain what you like about the gear that you own, but without having to compromise with the ergonomics. And let's just face it, the technical part of having a lot of gear, which is stringing long cables, powering everything up. You know what I'm talking about. So multi-sampling probably in this day of an age has gotten to the point where someone like myself can finally get all their favorite sounds that you go to under one house, so to speak. And I never would have thought that that would be the gateway to think about reducing the footprint of my studio, thus being more creative, having less to manage from a space standpoint, but also less to manage from a compatibility standpoint. So for example, a lot of the plugins that I have that I've multi-sampled are not ready for the Big Sur Mac OS X in my situation. So why not have it multi-sampled so that you can run Logic and Big Sur on an M1 Mac and still continue to work using your favorite sounds. So it's a lot of really cool extra benefits. Okay, so let me begin by showing what I mean. So here's a distortion sound that called bluesy lead that I get from the Motif ES. Or XS, excuse me, it's in the XS, legato lead. And it just, I multi-sampled it. I just ran it through distortion. Because it has that cool sound. And it's all in Logic now. I don't have to use that anymore. As a matter of fact, one of the other benefits is sometimes you want to use that same sound twice, but you only have one module. Now I just bring another instance of the sampler instrument, and now I've got two of the same sounds. So that's another advantage. I like the SRX drums card from the SRX 01 Dynamics drums card. And that was a multi-sample that I've just made multi-sample groupings, which you can see here, all in here. But it allows me to, again, transport my favorite sounds into the EXS. I'll go a couple more sounds here. D50. That's human bell sound. Okay. Very cool. This is like a DX7 sound that I had layered. Okay. Speaking of layering, I actually created a sound. This gets real interesting. An Omnisphere sound called Ballad Stack. And it very complex. It uses a custom sound that I did in the multi, and then I layered it with the Korg Wave Station pad and keyscapes. So it was a monster stack. And what I did is I just sampled the oscillator all at one time, so I don't have separate multi-samples of each plugin and all that. So it's very simple to do, number one, and it sounds fantastic. So that was an example of a multi. I even sampled the Nord Stage 3 Rhodes. course, I sampled the Royal Grand Piano in there as well. Even keyscapes. That's the standard LA Custom. And I found that even though you can add tremolo after, I decided to sample it with the tremolo on it because it's such a good one. And you can see, excuse me, how I did the velocities here. Kind of gave a larger range to the lower, it didn't take that long to the lower ranges and different velocities. Okay, and then some of the leads, Screamer from the Wave Station, sampled that. Dirty Voltage, this is a sound from the Phantom X. And the G had the same sound, but this is really close. Okay. And even the Mini 3, this is a motif. Right? And then let's see if I go into here. Now I can pull up all the patches inside an auto sampler. And so I've got like the super bass patch. You know, I got Superior Drummer 3, which loads real quick. Again, these are multi-samples, not the plugin. Right? And then, you know, the Abraham Laboreal. Even like the synth basses, this is from the XB60. And I'm really referring to sounds that you would use, in my case, that I would use, and I would have to pull up either a module or, in some cases, like that layer stack, rely on the fact that I have everything hooked up properly. And we know, you know, gear comes and goes. It just is the way it is. And plugins, to be honest, come and go. They're not always, there are sounds from the original FM7 that I used to use that you can't import into the FM8 from a long time ago. And there are plugins that you just choose not to rebuy, but there were sounds that you were dependent on for your older songs and so forth. So there's a lot of reasons, not just from ergonomical, but from compatibility issues to multi-sample stuff now. And so this is kind of like the new tool that I use for productivity. And it just has so much more benefits, ergonomically speaking, and portability. Like I said, with the authorizations and stuff that you have to have in order to use the stuff, like an iLock key, e-license key, and even a hardware hard drive authorization code. It can get kind of demanding over the long haul to have to keep up with all that. So hopefully in this video there are some ideas that you can pull out and implement for yourself so that you can streamline and make things easier for yourself as well. So again, I want to remind you, don't forget to hit subscribe, because it really does help this channel out a lot. And there are going to be better things coming along down the road. I can't wait. It's going to be after February 21st, and I'm going to be doing some great things. I'm going to be sharing with you on the channel and so forth. Kind of exciting to see what happens. And until next time, peace out.